as you write them.
Ba. Ga. Da.
So now, just so you know, this is the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet. It is not the oldest Hebrew alphabet, but it is a more ancient one than what's used today, currently in modern Israel.
So, sir, which one? What is the one that they be calling Yiddish and all that?
Okay, Yiddish is a dialect.
Okay.
Yiddish is not an alphabet. There's a difference between spoken language and then you know what I'm saying, the dialect in which it's spoken. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So today they use this alphabet. All right. So this is the A, Ba, Ga. So now, today, if you go inside of Israel, you'll see this. So when they read the Yiddish, you understand, dialect, they're going to do it like this. So for example, anybody know the first word in Hebrew?
It's the A, A-H.
It's Abba.
Abba.
You understand? So Abba is what? Father. You understand? Father. Correct. You understand? So now, they would pronounce this in Yiddish, Av. Now, how would we pronounce this, even if it was written in this alphabet? It'd still be Av. You understand? So regardless of which alphabet you see, we still pronounce it in the Paleo, or rather in the ancient dialect, in the Lashawan Qadash. You understand? So they're going to call it Abba, Av. You understand? Matter of fact, sometimes they say Av. You understand? Like they'll say Ab or Av, depending on the dialect. We say Abba, because that's what it is. Now, just a little something, you understand, before the brother comes in. The Proto-Sinaitic is really where they get the hieroglyphs from. Some people try saying that, you understand, the ancient Canaanite script, that's where it came from. They got that from us. So even older, the A looked like an ox head. You understand? Like Allah, the ox. You understand? The Ba was the internal design of a house. Bayaf. They call it the bait. You understand? This is a little similar, you understand, as to where it comes from, right? So now, the ox is a symbol of what? Strength, power. This is what?
Safety.
The house, all right? Right. So now, Abba is what? The strength of the house. You understand? So this is where words came from. They came from pictographical writing in order to create letters, in order to create words. You understand? Concept. So it'll be the same thing, like, for example, if you were to see, I'll draw it in the Proto-Sinaitic again. But for example, Allah is what? Power, right? And then the La, I want to see something. It should have been like look like that. It's a staff, a rod. Why? Because a staff is a symbol of strength. You have two symbols of strength, letting you know what? This is beyond strength. This is a power, Allah. You understand? So pictographically, this is where the alphabets and where the languages, you understand how the language evolved over time. So it started with the Proto-Sinaitic, it moved to the Paleo, and then today, you understand, into the modern script, which they like to consider this the Babylonian script. We call it the Assyrian script. You understand? You out? Right back, you shut right out. You understand? Meanwhile,
So it's like basically slang, like what we kind of do today, but we use the symbols to, like, metaphorically.
Because we're a visual learner,
right?
You understand? So when we created an alphabet, we used it off of imagery. You understand? So each different symbol would represent something else. You understand? So starting with, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the ox with the house. Matter of fact, this right here was Gamal, because this actually represents a camel's hump.
Okay.
You understand? Dalit, this actually represents the doorway into a tent. Dalit is door. So using the culmination of these different words, you'll be able to, they came up with words in our alphabet, and that's why you have certain root words that even, you understand, when it wasn't pictographical, it would still, like, for example, if you ever see a ka in a word, it usually has to do with defense. For example, Tazar Yak, like when you see the Ya and the Ka together, it has to do with some kind of defense. The Ya or the Yad is for a hand. You understand? The Ka was a fence. So if you have hands at a fence, you're on defense. Tazar Yak means what? Castle or stronghold. You understand? Same thing, you have Katazar. That Ka, my name, you understand, is arrow. Arrows are used for what? Striking. What if they were behind a castle wall? Defend the castle. So a lot of times what you'll see is, if you learn these roots, you'll see that they'll have to do something along those lines of defense. Hey, I'm actually teaching class till Hazahab gets here. You might call you right back? No sweat. Good, okay. Shalom, sure. All right, so just trying to, you know what I'm saying, is this your first, like, introduction to it? You don't have to know all this now. I just want you to know where all this comes from, and that it has nothing to do with quote unquote, like I said, you know, this is not Yiddish. Yiddish is how you pronounce it. And then there's three main dialects today. You don't have to know this, but if you want to learn it, y'all want to write it down, that they use today in Israel. You have the Yemenite, you have the Ashkenaz, and you have the Sephardic. Those are the three main modern Hebrew dialects, all right? The closest to what the Lashawan Qadash would be the Yemenite, because it uses less vowels. They also don't use the V's interchangeable. Hebrew has no V's. Hebrew has no A, E, I, O, U, V, or E. It does have an I, or short I. It does have a short A. It's a class A vowel. But it doesn't have any actual vowels. You know what I'm saying? So here's what we're going to do.
Still need me, sir?
Yeah, I do. I want you to finish the alphabet. I'm going to get rid of this.
Okay.
I just want you to finish the alphabet, and then Hazahab's going to take it from here.
Quick question. Sephardic, where's that? You say Sephardic, what people group is that? What geographic with?
Sephardic, quote unquote, are like the Spanish Jews. You know what I'm saying? Like that originated in Spain. You know what I mean? But we had some of our people there as well when we were in rulership there. They ended up traveling, or rather, they migrated from Khazaria to Spain because there was a letter known as it's basically in history it's known as the Khazarian letters. So like one of like the heads of quote unquote Jewry inside of one of the quote unquote heads of Jewry inside of Spain started writing correspondences. It's the Khazar correspondence letters, and started writing to the Khazars because he was so enthralled that there was a quote unquote Jewish population somewhere. He's like, yo, who are you? Where did y'all come from? The Khazars is the descendants of or rather not the descendants, but the ancestors of who you believe today is the Ashkenaz. You know, small hats, curls, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. So like the ones you see on Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Right. So what happens is that they converted to quote unquote Judaism. So the Sephardic Jews started writing letters, and then after they started talking, some of them started to migrate into Spain. And then that's when there started to be a quote unquote white population in Spain. You know what I'm saying? Up until the Spanish Inquisition, in which they expelled both of us. You know what I'm saying? But you have certain people like, for example, Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was Jewish. People, they think he's Italian. They lied about all that. He didn't discover America. The world wasn't flat. And you know what I'm saying? He knew where he was going. I just started writing about this in my second book. It's he was a converso, meaning a newly converted to the faith of Christianity, because you had to, in order to, you understand, maintain your citizenship and your power inside of Spain.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? There was a religious reform going on. So even when he was coming over to America, he was looking for lost tribes. You know what I'm saying? That's why, who knows the only interpreter he brought with him? Luis de Torres.
Yeah.
And he only spoke Near Eastern languages. He spoke Chaldaic, Arabic, and Hebrew. And the first language that he addressed the Indians in was what? It's Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like a little bit of history on that. All right. All the way. Hazard, please.
Stop. So what's the difference? Who's the difference between Leonardo Torres and Montezino? Who? Montezino. You said.
Luis de Torres and Montesinos.
Yeah, Luis de Torres.
Okay,
Yeah.
Montesinos came later.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So Montesinos was just like similar converso. You know what I'm saying? Marino. You know what I'm saying? Coming over there to explore, but it was two different time periods.
Mm-hmm.
So Luis de Torres was on like the first voyage. Like he sailed over with the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Okay.
So this was that, 1492 sailing out, you know what I'm saying, landing in like, you know what I'm saying, October, November.
Right.
Like that was their voyage. So this is the only interpreter that he brought with him. You know what I'm saying, was speaking Hebrew, Arabic, Chaldaic, and once again, like Columbus was reading Marco Polo's journals and his travels, how he quote unquote found a Hebrew speaking people. And because he was a quote unquote converso, he was looking for not only the riches, you know what I'm saying, like of the lost tribes. Because think about the blessings when it talks about them, you know what I'm saying? But not only when it comes down to the blessings, but he was looking for a quote unquote safe haven for those that were being expelled during the Spanish Inquisition so they could go practice Judaism away from Ferdinand and Isabella's rule. Quote unquote, they actually find the lost tribes, tons of gold, enslaved the population, and then, you know what I'm saying, the rest is history. And then they whitewashed it, destroyed it, so on and so forth. But he was on the first voyage.
I saw a film where Columbus was quoting Ezra's.
1492.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I saw a film when he was actually in. When I saw that, I was like, but I didn't know the extent of him actually looking for Israelites. But I always found that weird that he was quoting that scripture.
That's the opening scene, and this is what he wrote inside his journals. This is what he wrote, you know what I'm saying? Like he was constantly, because he was Jewish. So his thought process was, based off of the scriptures.
Right.
So he actually, not only did they use Second Ezra's when it says Arsareth,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But they use the 6th chapter when it starts to talk about the amount of land masses there are. So when he looked at how many parts was water and how many parts was land, he's like, yo, we're missing a continent. And this just goes to show you the Bible has always been ahead of science.
Right.
So based off the calculations between that they knew of with India and China, and then, you know what I'm saying, if he said if I sail west, then we should hit a landmass at a certain period because the Bible says there's a landmass here. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit, you know what I'm saying, more accurate as to what happened with him. But this is a Hebrew class, please. Azab, Salakia.
Do you need it for anything else, sir?
No, I just wanted to get the alphabet up there, and the brother was unfamiliar with it, so I wanted him
Would
to.
you like me to erase it, make it small so it's just straight across?
I mean, you got it, Hazard.
Okay. I would actually like it bigger. I know more spaces in between them. Right. Okay. Here's what. We're gonna work with this for now, right? Yeah. Have a seat right here if you could. Throw water for that, all right? Go on. Okay. Big up the Captain Cousins out, you know what I mean? Breaking on the history of the Hebrew. You know what I mean? He taught me everything about the history of the native Indians being over here speaking the Hebrew. He was the man for that, all right? He used to put it out in books, he used to bring it out right there at camp at 125th Street right there and Malcolm X Boulevard. You know what I mean? Most High in Christ, all right? Okay, so starting with the alphabet, of course, right? Captain Cousins was breaking down what each individual character was, right? We don't call them letters, we call them characters because they represent something, all right? The R here, you got your Hebrew sheets with you, right? Who's this right here?
That's mine, sir.
It's yours?
Remind me.
Yeah, I need a copy of this right here. Huh? Okay, two out, right? Did you guys all see this one already?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw already? Okay, good. Well, this is what we have from the books, stuff that the white man has available already, right? In the UPK, we have all these, right? You might see there's some missing. There's missing There's missing the man and non and stuff like that on here. Right, so we're gonna get the full chart right now, right? All right, so we already got here where R is for Allah, right? R is for Allah, which means cow, right? Right here we have Ba, right? It's for Baya, right? Which is a foundation of the tent, right? You got the tent up here, you got what they call right here the foundation, meaning to dig a hole in the ground so your tent don't blow away, right? Right, so the tent, modern day you call this your house, right? This is living tents. The Ga is for Gamal, this is the hump of a camel, right? The hump of a camel, right? Hence the similarity in the words. English is rooted in Hebrew, all right? That's something that they will never tell you, or you'll never learn that nowhere, right? Da, so okay, Da is for Dalat, which is a door, right? Dalat, right? Which is a door, right? This is a Ha, right? Ha is for Hana, which means to behold, right? This is a sense of a man's hands doing this, right? Doing this, he's doing like this. You know, like the magicians, they come out and do this right here, right? Hana. There was also another word this is very common, right? I like to teach you with this word also, which is Hada, because this is the word that you need to know, right? You're gonna come across it ever so often. It's the word for put. Put things here, put it there, right? We need words to fulfill our vocabulary so we can speak the language, all right? Right? We got wa, right? Which is for wawa, which is a fish hook, right? This is a two-pronged hook. They will throw in the water, right? It's shaped like a fork, big, like a staff, right? Got two prongs on there. You'll see people who live away from what you call like civilization. They live like that, all right?
They use them like spears, right?
Yeah, they use like spears. Instead of having one point, they have 2 points because it's a better way of catching the fish. Because the fish will swim away, right? When you throw it, you know it kind of spins. You got better accuracy on or better success rate on catching the fish, right? As to where you get the whole idea of Thor's fork that they have the big fork. It's a similar kind of thing, all right?
Trident.
The trident. There we go. Kabukan, right? Right here we got Za, which is for Zion. Zion is a weapon, right? If I'm writing it too small, right? Please let me know, all right? So I can write it bigger for you, all right? Right. Also, Isupk, if you could get me Amos 3 and 7 for me, all right? Go, all right. That's for Zion, weapon, right? This right here is Ka, which is for Kalma, which is a fence. Kalma, which is a fence. All right. Modern day, you can use this for a wall also. All right, so wall with the same word as Kalma, fence, right? Over here we have Ta, right? Ta is for Tana'ah, right? Which is the word for basket. right? This is how your grandmothers started making the bottom of a basket when she was in slavery. She started off getting a strand of willow branch, right? A willow is like it's like a bush that grows in the swampy areas, and they're soft, all right? So they dry these, they make a circle, and they make a square, not square, across the middle, and then they weave in the other willow branches around the X that's made in the middle and create the bottom of a basket, all right, and then build it up, all right? Modern day, you use this for a bag also, right? So tana, right? I believe this one is not on the sheet, right? Right. The slave master doesn't have this one neither yet, all right? All right. Ya is for yad, Y-A-D, right? Which is a hand, right? A hand. All right. When you get that scripture, you also let me know too, all right?
Ka.
Okay. Ka. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Most High Power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Right. If you want to find real prophets of the Lord, right, you have to find where the Lord is going to reveal the secrets at, all right? Now, the secrets of this, people have been studying Hebrews for years, right? Captain Cutter was bringing out Louis de Torres, right? All scholars out there, we got the Zonovans, you got all kind of, you got the JPS Tanakh, right? But up until 2021, about to be 2022 in society, right? They still don't have the full Hebrew alphabet characters to know what these things represent or what they are. All right, in the UPK, we have that, all right? Right? And that's a secret that the Lord gave us, right? Big up to General Kobalamov, right? Right? Also Officer Galawan, right? Officer Aban, right? And I'm missing someone. Officer Aban, Officer Galawan, General Kobalamov, right? Right? For figuring out the full extent of what these things are here, right? Right? La is for Lamad, right? Which is to learn, right? This is a old man's walking stick, right? They used to write it like this, right? This is a walking stick that your elder will beat you with. You're a bad child, you know what I mean? He bestowing the lessons of experience of life onto you, right? He's your teacher, right? So this became Lamad. Ka is for kap, which is the palm. Ka is for the palm of your hand, right? This is the mark in your hand. You're always wondering what this thing was right here, right? We created the Lord rather created a Hebrew character out of this right here, right? Right? Yah for hand is like your hand doing this, right? That's the Yah right here, right? Ma is for Mayam. I run out of space here, right? Ma is for Mayam, which is water, right? All of this stuff is basic vocabulary, right? Okay. Also, we have Na is for Nawan, right? Which is sprout, right? So picture a seed, right? A seed sprouting roots, all right? Sprout, all right? Sa is for Samak, right? Samak, which means to establish, right? The figure is a flag, right? This will be the skeletal structure of a flag. Anytime you're going to establish your place or your country there, you put a flag there. The oppressor went to the moon, right?
Right.
Said the eagle has landed, he planted his American flag that they say he owns this part or the moon. He owns the moon rather, right? We got elements, so we gotta get I, right? I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, right? We have I here. I is for Ayan. Also, if you can go on Google, right, and look up ancient Egyptian mousetrap, all right? On Google, all right? I is for Ayan, which is your eye. So this is how you say I in Hebrew, right? This is the figure of an eye, right? Right? Pa is for Pa, which is your mouth. Pa, which is your mouth. Right? So Pa is how you say mouth in Hebrew, right? Pa. So this is a figure of your jaw right here, right? To the side. Taza, right? It's for Tazad, which means side, right? This is the figure of a man on his side. Before it was written like this, it was written like so, right? And the image is a man laying down with one leg up, right? It was like that, all right? Go ahead.
I got a question, sir.
Mhm.
Why is it read from right to left?
I don't think there's an answer for that. Okay, in English, why do you read from left to right?
Right, that's why I was just curious.
Why did they turn it backwards? I don't know if you have an answer for that, sir.
I mean, only thing we can surmise is you ever notice everything's always the right hand. Christ is on the right hand.
Right, right.
And your strength is always in your right hand.
Right.
So as a result, it would be naturally inclined to do something on the right. You know what I'm saying? Starting because everything starts from the right and then goes left in our culture.
Yes, sir.
There we go. There we go. Right. Okay. Kwa is for Kwawash.
And then if I could, and then of course the devil is gonna always, you know what I'm saying, reverse engineer everything.
Right,
So
right.
if God's language is right to left, his language is left to right.
God. In Europe, in the rest of the world, they drive on the opposite side of the road. Right?
Oh yeah,
the
steering wheel.
Yeah, everything's on the other side. America want to have everything on the other side. Right. So we know that America is the son of the other nations. Right, they're the child, right? So they're the new thing out here, right? They have everything on the opposite side. Sure. Yeah. Right. So Kawash is snare, right? This is a figure of a mouse trap, right? Or a trap for a rodent, right? It's no different than you have your regular mouse trap you have in the project, right? You have a little trap here, right? It flips over on the other side, right? Did you get the picture from me, Sapiala?
Come.
If you can show the picture right quick. I don't know if you can. You're not going to stop the feed, right? Yeah, just bring up another page right quick, right, when you're ready, all right? Come, right? Ra is for Ra'ash, right? Ra'ash, which means head, right? This is the figure of a head on a neck. You got the picture there, Yosap? Okay, no sweat, right? And then we have the last figure here, which is Shah, right? Shah, which is for Shan, right? Which is teeth. Right there. Okay. You got it? And the thought. Kwarasha thought. Slap it.
I just thought you were running out of room.
Yeah, I was running out of room. The thought is for thou, Thaw, right? Hold on. The letter is pronounced tha, right? The Hebrew word it comes from is thou, which means mark, right? X mark the spot, the mark of the Most High, or the mark of the beast, right? Yes. Yeah, if you could show the image, right? Okay, but they can't see it largely, right? Okay, I mean, I need the brother in here to see, right? Okay, okay. Let me see if I can get it on the tablet right quick. Bear with me 1 second, please. All right.
That's how you know we invented that trap.
Cool, right? This was made out of bones of Egyptian. Hold on, damn, I'm saying something else I said. Ancient Egyptian mousetrap.
Here are some results from the web.
Okay. Ancient Egyptian mousetrap images. Okay, there we go. Right. So everyone can see online that one there already, right?
Oh,
All right. So this is the mousetrap right here, right? This is the mousetrap. Yeah, that's the quad.
And this was back then?
Yeah, this is the Egyptian mousetrap, right? And that's based off that's the same figure that we have right here as the qua, which is kwawash, which is a snare.
That's ill.
I mean, and the slave master don't have that. You ain't gonna look into no book and find that. But the secrets was revealed unto the prophets here in the ISUPK, and we teach the whole alphabet. It's our language, all right. Most and Christ, all right. We give commands in our hand, all right.
Sir, I have another question. Yeah. With the mousetrap, so I was always curious about the pyramids, how it was built. Do we have like construction equipment of some sort, or?
Yeah, the pyramids are giant burial mounds. All right. I believe there's a scripture on that also, right? About the burial mounds. I believe there's one in Maccabees, right? If you could get me the pyramid, let's look for pyramid in the book of Maccabees. I mean, I'll stop y'all from here, right? All right. Do we have this already? You need a chance to write it down. You got it? You good?
You got it.
Okay, both sides press, right? We're gonna keep moving, all right? I'm gonna leave the last section up here for whoever was trying to catch up. I don't know who's trying to keep up online. All right, so I'm gonna raise the bottom part down here, all right? Okay. Also, if we have any questions about the Hebrew, right? Online or right, just let me know what else up here, all right? Okay. Are we familiar with the greeting in here? Do you know how to greet a brother in the Hebrew in here?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. We're gonna get it right. Where's everybody from in here?
Bronx.
Bronx. Or everybody in Bronx here? Bronx too? Okay, Bronx in the house side, most side Christ, right? Okay. We greet a brother in here, right? Two brothers, right? Of course, the word brother in Hebrew, right? Brother in Hebrew is ak, right? Ak. All right. We greet your brother by saying the Lord's name, which is Yahweh, right? The Lord doesn't have any other name, right? Of course, you might go in the scriptures, you might see Yah for short, right? Where a man is not trying to use the Lord's name in vain, which is a law. There's a law that says you cannot use the Lord's name in vain. So you might hear David singing a song where he's not praying to the Most High, not asking for anything. So he says Yah as a way to not use the Lord's name in vain. It's similar in English where we might say the Lord to not say the Lord's name, or we might say the Most High to still not say the Lord's name, right? And that includes writing his name, which is written as so, right? Yah, Ha, Wa, right? Yah, Yah, Ha, Wa, right? Yahweh, right? Don't write this on a t-shirt. Don't put it on a hat. Don't write this on your book for no reason, right? Because that's what's considered using the Lord's name in vain, right? What is vain? Meaning you're doing it for nothing. You're doing it for no purpose at all. All right? So don't use the Lord's name in vain. That's a law, right? Now, a lot of people out there who's in groups that's not in the ISUPK, essentially Christians, right? It's people in the world, right? They don't understand that law and they'll break that law, right? Right? Yahweh, Ba, Ha, Shem, right? Ba, Ha, Shem, right?
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
I have a precept.
Go ahead if you could, right?
This is First Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 28.
Right.
Moreover, he set up 7 pyramids, one against another, for his father and his mother and his 4 brethren.
Right. So pyramids are just burial mounds, right? Of course, the pharaohs wanted to be God on earth, so their burial mound had to be high like the Mount Everest, right? That's all it is. Nothing crazy. It's nothing spooky. It's nothing spiritual. Of course, they had gods where they worship the dead and stuff like that. They got the Book of the Dead, right? So to them, death was like a god to them, and they just built, pyramids after their god, did a culture after their gods, all right? So regular man, you dig a hole, you dig the hole apart the ground, you put him in the ground, and then there's a mound right there in the ground because you done dug up the ground, put him in the ground, right? Right, and he takes up space on the ground. You put the ground back, it needs a little bump there, right? So the people's minds, it's the bigger the bump, more important he is, right? The pharaoh decided, it's a big burial ground, right? It's not a big deal. It's not special, right? So,
Excuse me.
yeah.
Did they ever use it for like a power plant? I heard they did. I heard that too. No.
People try to mystify things they don't understand, right? Now, did they have electricity back then? I don't know. People say that they did. They look at the hieroglyphs. They don't read power plant, but they picture a power plant or they picture shooting electricity and all that, right? This is people work off the imaginations. I don't read anything about in the scriptures about any special thing they had like that. So I couldn't say that, right? But just beware of people who make fables. I think that's in the Bible too, right? Okay. Be ye not deceived by fables, right? People love Egypt, and because they love Egypt, yes, they could fly. They had flying dogs, dog-head creatures. Yeah, when people just had imaginations and drawings. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 years from now, you're gonna hear that there was a white man called Superman, and he could fly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he was born on crypto.
Crypto.
He was born on crypto. Before cryptocurrencies, he was born on crypto. Right? And he flew here, and he was a man of all kind of God. You're gonna hear that there was a man who got infected by a spider. Right. He was Spider-Man in America. Yeah, you're gonna hear all kind of stuff in the future, right? So just beware of fables, all right? Go ahead.
Why is Op so associated with Ishmael today?
Because Ishmael was the son of Abraham. Right? He was the firstborn son of Abraham, right? So Arabic, we got a book over here, right, called Hebrew textbook, right? Pass these around too, right? Okay. You can pass one of these around. I'm gonna have one. You gonna take the other one, right? All right. You're gonna go into the glossary, right? You're gonna look for a part that says cognate languages, right? The glossary is way in the back. All right. You're gonna look for the letter C. Right, it's on page 346 when you're ready, all right? Let me know, all right? 346. Right? For those who don't know, right? This is a book by Yale University, right? Yale University, it's nothing that we made up. I mean, I know a lot of people out there, they don't like the UPK because they're a black man teaching. And if a black man teaches, it ain't right. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is the white man's book. All right? So maybe you believe the white man, right? You got it? Read it for me if you could, from the page, right?
Read which one, sir?
You want to read the one at the top.
Okay, cognate language.
Cognate languages, right?
Yes.
Keep reading.
Cognate languages are related through the same origin.
Right. Cognate languages are related through the same origin. What's the origin? The lineage. Onto it, right? Ishmael was the Arabs. He spoke Arabic, right? His father was Abraham. Abraham didn't speak Arabic, right? He spoke Hebrew, right? But Ishmael was cast out to go be his own 12 princes and whatnot, right? To have his own nation. Right. The Lord divided the nations and their languages and their tongues, right? With their lands, right? Give me that also in Genesis, I believe chapter 11, right? Right, keep reading.
Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages.
Right, Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages because Semitic means descendants of Shem. Right, so you know the Lord flooded everybody in the earth. Right, Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Right, they went off to different continents. Ham to the Africa, Japheth to Europe, and Shem stayed in what is called Asia. Right. People say, oh, there's no Middle East, no Middle North, no Middle West. You heard it before, right? Well, East just means Asia. That's all it is, right? It's not a big deal, right? You read in the book, the Lord Shines Promised Land. They call it the Orient, right? I got you, Isupk, right? Which one? Okay, let me see what you got there, Isupk, y'all, right quick.
I'm still holding 2 Peter's first.
Yeah, you can hold that for later, right? Right. So Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages, right? Because one language comes from the other. All languages are related to the Hebrew. They all come out of the Hebrew, no matter what language it is, right? The Africans didn't have a written language until probably about the Egyptians, right? To understand anything in the Egyptian languages, you have to go through the Hebrew to translate it as the Egyptian language, the Hotep, whatever they call that language, right? I don't know if they have a name for it. Huh? Metaneta. Okay, Metaneta. I thought that was like a law code that they had, the Metaneta. So Metaneta is the language. Most High in Christ, all right? All right? To understand the Metaneta, you have to translate using Hebrew. All right? Because Hebrew is the father language of all languages. All right? Go ahead, Isupk, y'all.
Genesis 11:1.
Okay, go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the whole earth was of one language.
Right. One time the whole earth spake one language. They all spake Hebrew. Right? Keep reading.
And of one speech.
Keep going. And they all said the same thing. Just like America today, everyone says in America, in this evil place here, everyone says it's okay to be an LGBTQ member. It's okay to you should love all people. All people are the same, right? That's evil, right? As to why the Lord brought this place down here, the Lord saw that these people were trying to come against the Lord and come against His laws, right? Right? Skip me down to the part where the Lord divided the languages we could at, right? Mm-hmm. Give me verse 6. Mm-hmm. (11 and 6), all right?
And the Lord said, behold.
Right, this is the Lord's name right here, Yahweh, right? This is God's name. Right? Anytime you see in the King James Version, capital L-O-R-D. In the Hebrew, you're going to see the Lord's name there. Right? If you don't see capital L-O-R-D in all capitals, you're not going to see the Lord's name. You're probably going to see Allahayim, which might mean the angels. Right? It means the powers, but they're referring to the angels that work under the Most High, right? Right? Keep reading.
Behold, the people is one.
Behold is the word we had before. It's the word you're going to see all the time. It's good to know, right? Hana. Hana is the word for behold, right? Right? Hana, which is where we got the figure of the ha, right? Very, very important vocabulary, right? Behold, the what?
The people is one.
The people is one, right? Keep reading.
And they have all one language.
And they all have one tongue, right? People is I'm, right? I'm in the Hebrew, I'm, right? Tongue is important too, because tongue is the word for language, right? Tongue is the word for language. Tongue is Lashan, right? Language is Lashawan, right? Language. Hence, our language is called the Lashawan Qadash, which means the holy tongue, or tongue is an old Quaker English way of saying language. What tongue do you speak with? All right, it's an old English way of saying language, all right? So, but in Hebrew, language, Lashawan. Lashawan, right? Now, the difference between a tongue and language, Lashan versus Lashawan, is the wa in here. This is very important to know, right? Make sure you remember this forever, right? The wa is our way of saying I-N-G. All right? That's our way of saying I-N-G. You need to remember this. This is a rule when reading and speaking the language. Right? You're gonna see wa in all kind of words all over the place in a regular sentence structure. You're reading the Sabbath service, you're reading your Tanakh. You see a wa in the middle of the word is saying ing. So barak is blessed, barawak, blessing. Halak, walk, halawak, walking. Yalak, go, yalawak, walking. Shamar, hear, shawmar, hearing. All right? Shamar, watch, shawmar, watching. Right? What did I say before? Shamai, right? Shamai is here. Shawmai is hearing, all right? Okay? Rapa'ah, heal, rapa'awa, healing, all right? Okay? Keep going, Yosef, please.
And this they begin to do.
And this they begin to do.
And now nothing will be restrained from them.
Right? Nothing shall be restrained from them. Go ahead.
Which they have imagined to do.
Uh-huh. Even here in America, they want to go to space, man. They go ahead and do it. I mean, if they say they want to go to the moon, next thing you know, they're there. They want to put a drone on Mars. They got pictures on Mars right now.
You ain't even got to be a country to do it no more.
Yeah.
You have billionaires having a space race right now.
Right.
The head of Virgin Mobile.
Yep.
Jeff Bezos.
Yep.
And Elon Musk.
Richard Branson.
That's his name.
Three devils in one country. Before the space race was between America and Russia.
Sir,
Now you got three white men in America, right, racing to go to the edge of the earth. Whatnot. Go ahead.
if I may, sir, I think that's because they know Christ is coming back, Yahweh shot. So they trying to get off planet. But they don't know that he's gonna have 100 for men after a while. He had pictures of men. And he said after a while he's gonna have hundreds of men. Like where you gonna catch them when in the bunkers and out of space.
Yeah, they know the empire. You want to say something else?
The only thing I was gonna say was like, listen, I don't have too many far out fantasies, but I'll be praying that they make it to Mars and we pull up on a chariot, you know what I'm saying? On a chariot and chains, and bring their ass back.
That'd be some extra dressing.
Real talk. I mean, and that's prophecies that the IRGBK has been there for a long time about the hundreds of men, the fishes of men, because they do know that their time is at the end. They're not done. Right? They looked at Rome. They look at the Greek empires. They research Babylon. They love Egypt. They always investigate how Egypt fell. They're not ignorant to these things. They know the Lord is real. You know what I mean? They're gonna tell you that He's not real, so you don't follow Him. You see what I'm saying? They're gonna make it sound like you're an intelligent person because you don't believe in God, and they're gonna love and respect you because they need you to not call on the Most High. Because if you call on the Lord's name like we did in Egypt, it said that the Lord had respect unto us. And when He had respect unto us, He brought those plagues. All right, now this place is this place is a mess right now. You know what I mean? It's looking kind of real out there right now. Right? The news is hot. The news is on fire nowadays. Every day is something new. I mean, I don't watch TV no more. I just watch the news. I'm like, what's going on today? You know what I mean? Most time Christ. You know what I mean? Come. The people is one. Go ahead, Isupk.
Verse 7.
So in essence, Lashawan, right? Coming from the word tongue, the one with the ing is what the tongue is doing. All right, we got Barak right here, as in the greeting, right? Barak is blessed. I wrote them kind of close together. I'm erasing the bottom down here, but this is the greeting up here, right? Right, when you're ready, y'all stop your all right?
Book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 7. Go to.
Here's the Lord say, go to, right? Go ahead.
Let us go down.
Let us go down, right?
And there confound their language.
Right. So the Lord sent the angels down to earth to confound their language, create a confusion in their language, all right? And that word confusion is the same word in my head today, which is Babel or Babal. Right? Babal. Right? The name of Babylon is based on this word right here. Right? Babylon, Hebrew is Babal 1. Right? Another important thing to know when you're reading Hebrew, 1. W-A-N. When you see that at the end of a word, this is a signal for a noun. Right? So this is how we write our nouns, right? 1 is a person, place, or thing, right? Person, place, or thing. All right. Hence, when you go to your your New York City Board of Ed curriculum, they call it a noun in English, right? A noun. All right. We have this, I believe, in some of the names of our tribes too, right? We have Simeon, Shemaiwan, right? His mother, the mothers were beefing, right? Jacob had 4 baby mothers. I don't know how many baby mothers y'all got, right? But the same way, the baby mothers were beefing, and Leah had a son called Shemaiwan, Simeon in the English, all right? And the name was, the Lord hath heard my affliction. So it was based after the word Shemai, which is hear, all right? Shemai, which is hear or to listen, right? Right, Shemai, right, which is to hear, right? Because the Lord have heard her, right? And what happened with the culture was, when you turn this into a person, place, or thing, you put a one at the end of it. All right? So that's how we get the word, the name rather, Shemaiwan, right? What's the other one? Zabalawan. Same rule again. Right? Zabal is the word for dwell. Right? She had another son called Zabalawan. Right? Right? Zabal is the word for dwell. Right? And she thanked the Lord because after him now she's saying, you know what? Black fathers, they love their sons. After I have this child Zabalawan, surely Jacob is going to dwell with me. Right? So she named the son Dwell, Zabal, right? Turn it into a noun, Zabalawan, with a W-A-N at the end, right? Zabalawan. Right? Okay, right? So Balawan being the so-called Mayan Empire, the descendants of the Mayan Empire, right? Your Costa Ricans, your Panamanians, you know, Nicaragua, right? That whole region down there in the straits under the Yucatan Peninsula, right? Even the word Yucatan is a Hebrew word from Joktan, right? Look up to Officer Zachariah, who did the research about the people that lived there, the Aztecs and so forth. They call it the Yucatan to say Joktan, something related between Joktan and Peleg in the days in the ancient lineage where the earth was divided. Peleg is the word for divide, Pelag in Hebrew, right? And they looked at it as this land is separated from the other land in the earth, right? I gotta get that excerpt from Officer Zachariah, right, about that. That's a very interesting piece to understand, right? As the Native Indians knew that they were related to the history of the Israelites from the east, All right. We got many books in here and on our book list about reading stuff about that. All right. All right. Who we got? Shamaiwan, the so-called Dominicans. All right. The so-called Dominicans is the Simeonites. Right. You're reading the prophecy. Levi and Simeon are brethren. Simeon was the natives to the island. The Levites were the one that was carried on the ships. Right? I know there's a talk out there. How could Levi and Simeon be? But they're dumb. A lot of people out there make things up in their mind with their imagination because they don't know anything. They don't have the history. Right? In UPK, we have the history, right? Simeon is the natives. On the so-called natives, as of course we know that they all came over here in 700 BC, running away from the Assyrians, as to where we got the Assyrian Hebrew. Right? I know you asked about the Assyrian Hebrew earlier, right? You asked about the Yiddish. Who asked about the Yiddish earlier?
That was me, sir.
That was you, right? Right? Where they use the Assyrian Hebrew, right? This language, this writing form right here, right? The modern, what is considered modern Hebrew. It was created in Assyria, right? As a way of being coons, because our writing was like graffiti. It was like graffiti back then. Just like today, your braids is abhorred in court. They don't like your braids in court. You know, you go anywhere, you black, they look down and like, what's these lower class people doing right here? Our culture was the lower sort back then too. So out of being coons, we tried to appease society back then and create a more civilized way of writing. Because the Assyrians, they wrote like this. They wrote things like in a square box like this. It was all neat and it was all civilized. So we tried to have a very neat linear culture like this. Instead of this ghetto, from the woods, country down south, ghetto right here. This barbarian. My gosh, man. I'll be so afraid around these guys. You know what I mean? What's that? You know what I mean? Yeah. So we created this out of loving Assyria. All right. Trying to fit in is the point I'm trying to make. Damn right. All right. Okay. Good. Right. Read that verse again, 7. Right. We're gonna go back to the book right here. All right. When you're ready, what's up, y'all? All right, go ahead.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 7.
All right, go ahead.
Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language.
Confound their language, go ahead.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
Okay. The word babal, right, that we had over here, it means confused, right? In English today, you have the word babble. Are you babbling on and on about nothing, right? It's the same word, right? Babble and babble, right? Keep going.
Verse 8. So the Most High scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth.
Right, so after they confounded their language, now they can't be unified no more. Then they scatter. No, it's very similar to today in America where the Lord is dividing this nation here, America, right? This country, right? Where one is a Democrat and the other is a Republican. And one loves the government and another one is saying, hell with this government, we're gonna have a revolution and march upon Capitol Hill the other day. Right? There's a civil war in this country right here. Right? The Lord, so now they scattered, right? And it's like a civil war here. Back then, these people were confused, they understand each other. They all went their separate ways because it was the Lord's doing. Right? Keep reading.
And they left off to build the city.
And they left off to build their own cities, right? Now read this part here again for me on in this book right here, right? Cognate languages, right?
Okay, you want me to continue or start over?
You can start over if you want, right?
Okay, cognate languages are related through the same origin.
Right, so just like all people on the earth, they all come out of Noah, right? His three sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, right? All of the sons of Ham, Shem, and Japheth built this tower here. Lord confounded their language. They separated, but they had the same origin. Right? Read it again.
Cognate languages are related through the same origin.
Keep reading.
Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages.
Hebrew is related to the other Semitic languages because these people had the same origin, right? Keep reading.
Arabic.
Arabic is the language of the Ishmaelites, right? Ugaritic, I'm not sure. I think one time, because you said something about Ugaritic. I don't know if you know whose people those are. Ugarites.
I don't remember offhand, but like all these Near Eastern languages too, like if you go look up their alphabet,
right,
they all start with what we call the Allah, Aleph. You understand? It's the same short A. The difference is that we pronounce the pa like an actual P. They pronounce it a fa like fat farm.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, but if you were to compare Arabic, Aramaic, quote unquote,
right,
and modern Hebrew,
right,
not only would some of the actual alphabets be identical, but the pronunciations. Like how you go through this, right? Ba, ga, da, ha. Literally, that's the Arabic alphabet, except a couple of letters like are added in there. Like they have a couple of more like Z sounds in there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they're a lot of these languages are nearly identical. Like there's several. Like for example, we say la for no. They say la. You know what I'm saying? We say ak for brother. They say ak for brother. You know what I'm saying? Even if you eat, there's even certain words in modern Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, that line up with Lashawan Qadash. Shamar is one of them. You know what I'm saying, which we use for watch or guard.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing inside of quote unquote modern Hebrew. The entire language didn't get bastardized. You understand? Just the majority of it.
Yeah. Throughout, sir. Okay. So, like you said, the Near East languages would be the main Shemitic people, right? I got here Ugaritic on Google here. It says relating to or characteristic of the ancient port and Bronze Age, trading city of Ugarit in northern Syria, right? So now in the northern parts of the Middle East, right? Of course, they are Muslims, right? They all speak Arabic, but when you go there, Arabic is not their main language. You see what I'm saying? That's a thing that we think over here in America, where everybody over there speaks Arabic because they are Muslim, right? But when you go to those places, you go to Iraq and you go to Syria, right? They have their own languages according to their kind or their sort or their own minute race of people that we are not privy to. All right, they have their own families and tribes that, being from over here, we don't really know what's going on over there because they're far away. All right, okay. So Ugaritic is a northern Syrian language. Right, keep reading. Right.
Aramaic.
Aramaic, and the Syrians are the Assyrians. Right. Right. Keep reading.
Etc. The more closely related languages are the more cognate words they will share.
As Captain Qadash broke down, right? A lot of them share the word ak. A lot of them share the word shamar, right? We say la, they say la, right? So we share words, right? Right? And that is also a clue of how to pronounce certain things in the Hebrew. We might see words that, we're not sure about the connectors. Of course, in the Hebrew, in our language, Lashawan Qadash, we have connectors. We have the numbers which don't go according to the same rules as regular words, right? So you might see words like 5, the letter 5, right? 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 It's made from the Hebrew characters, the ka, the ma, and the sha, right? So we'll read this and we'll say kamash, right? But then the Arabics, they say kam sha. Right? They have similar language for us to use clues. And by the way, the whole earth is made for the Israelites. Right? They speak those languages for the purpose of us getting our language back through recognizing what was ours and what was taken from ours and what was diluted. Right? Even the Bible right now is a puzzle when you're knowing the truth. Right? But then as you grow in this truth and you get rooted in the spirit, here in the Isupk and the command Jiniana, things are gonna be very easy to figure out. Because this thing was made for you. The Bible is your book. Christians out there trying to, master the Bible, and they end up creating 20 different religions. One is Baptist, one is Methodist, one is Pentecostal, because this is not their book to understand, right? But through the Spirit of the Most High, we have this, all right, and we can figure out what the whole thing, right? With the Spirit, being led by the Spirit, not by your own vain, want to be famous judgment. All right, good, right? Greeting, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Athar. So you see brothers coming in, you get at the door, first thing, Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, Athar, Yahweh Ba'ashim Shai, Athar. Some brothers say it fast, Yahweh Athar, right? Right? Don't worry, right? For the brothers who see you and trying to get down the troopers, you're gonna get it. All right.
If you're from Philly, it's too short up.
Yeah, they're gonna add the Philly dialect to it. You know what I mean? Come. You know what I mean? Right. So Yahweh, Ba Hashem, right? Ba is in, Ha is the, Sham is name. Ba Hashem. You heard this a couple times before, right? Ba Hashem, right? Yahweh Shai is the name of our King, transliterated as Jesus, right? Barak is blessed. Athar is the formal way of saying you, right? Of course, now when you're reading in the Tanakh, you're not going to see Athar everywhere unless it's something that's being spoken to the whole congregation. Most of the time, you're going to see the possessive ka, right? This is going to be the most common way to say you or your, right? But formally, Athar, right? So focus on the formal first, right? And get the greeting, how about Shema Shai Barak Athar. All right? Of course, then after that, you're going to learn how to greet the sisters, right? Hope everyone's done down here. I'm going to erase this, right? Everybody who's online.
One second, sir. I'm going to just take a picture.
You want to take a picture? Okay, go ahead.
Question, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
I believe yesterday, it was either you or the other brother said that when addressing the general, is different at the end.
What do you mean?
Like the difference between Barakatah or Barakatam, I believe.
Okay, that's not okay. Athar is singular, right? So when we saluting the general at the end of class, we're saluting him, right? You're greeting him the same way how you greet any brother individually. All right? Athar is you singular, right? Now a thumb, I need some room down here. Right? I'm gonna start. Okay, let me get the top up here. All right. And the brother asked an important question, right? Because that goes along with all of the greetings, all right? Me? Yeah.
Question.
Okay, just hold the question for me a second, right? Hold it for me, right? Right? Athar. Athar is you, singular, right? Unisex, no matter what gender, right? Now, a thumb, right? A thumb is when you're talking to a group of brothers. A thumb, right? Which is you, plural. Plural to men. Plural to men. Right? Plural to men, right? And they have a thumb, which is you, plural to the sisters, all right? All right? So, it's a little bit of similarity. M here. Right? A thumb is to the men. And it's only plural. Right? So now, at the end of class, the sisters will say Their greeting, which is not the same as this, their greeting is Yahweh Shamar Ala Thumb, Bashima Shai to the men, right? Now we're going to say Yahweh Shamar Ala Thumb, being that we're speaking to the sisters, right? The sisters, you see there's none here right now, they get this wrong every week. There'll be a group of brothers over here, and they're going to say this, because this is what they're used to, right? But it takes a little bit of diligence to own your culture. The scripture says, Yahweh Shai, our king said, right? Yahweh Shai, king. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you. You have to bring your kingdom back. You lost the kingdom and now you speak English, right? Now, taking the kingdom doesn't mean fly back to the Middle East, Israel right? Because, you know, that you gonna go back to your house in Israel and someone's living in your house.
Right.
Yeah, and he got the power that he got drones and all that, and you defenses again. You can't go back and take your house back. That's an ignorant person thinking who doesn't understand prophecy in the Bible. He goes back there, and then they go, and what do people that's there do? They move them off to the side in a land which is technically Egypt, called Demona Israel. You've heard of the Demona Israelites before, right? That's a land in Egypt, and they have to serve the Esau's military over there to even stay there, to get citizenship, all right? So they have servants there, right? Don't buy no plane ticket to work over there. The Lord's mission was not to make airlines rich, right? We all find our way Israelites, and now we all jump on Delta and American Airlines and, you know, Southwest heading back to Middle East. That's not the mission. That's not what the Lord said to do, right? The Lord said he's going to take us out of here with a mighty hand. The mighty hand is not the white man's airlines. All right? Okay? The mighty hand is the COVID-19. And the COVID-20, COVID-21 now, Omicron, COVID-22. That's the one for 2022 right there. Next summer it's going to be a new one. Who knows, Lord willing. You know what I mean? For sure. And then other things, all right? Good. Right? Another way of picturing this also, right? You're familiar with this, right? So you're from New York, right? Right? Y'all familiar with this right here, right? Y'all. Right? This is a black man's language, right? In our language, we would have a word for y'all. Right? In English, they call you ghetto, because that's the kind of ghetto New York language is that, right? Our language has that. A thumb and a thun is like saying y'all. All right? And that is why we had the need, even though it's not provided in English to say y'all, we created y'all because it's within our spirit to make a difference between you and y'all. All right? All right? So this is our language, all right? Greeting the sisters. We're done with this here, right? Come on. Most High Christ, right? I'm a Jamaican, right? So in Jamaican they say ono. Ono. They say this right here. Ono. Yeah, ono is another way of saying this is the Benjamite or the West Indian way of saying y'all. Right? People they say like we got it from Africa or something like that. Might have been, right? But we had the need to want to say something different from you when talking to a group of people, all right? Okay. Let me get the sister's question right quick so I can just, hear it right quick.
You had broke it down already.
Okay, what was it?
The plural.
Oh, for the sisters. Okay, most High Christ, all right? The greeting for the sisters. 2 sisters. All right? Big up to all the common watchers out there. I don't know if Just Arm Paint is on there. Right? You have she's smiling, she is. Double R, I don't know if Double R is on there. Big up to all of the common watchers out there, right? That's always coming in and greeting, right? Let me know who's giving me greetings on there for y'all, what's up, y'all, right?
Just Art and Paint.
The Bala,
West Princess, Danisha Jones.
Danisha Jones, always a regular listener also, right? Go ahead.
Greg Walker.
He's coming too, go ahead.
Shout out out to that priest, Mashamar. Yeah.
Mashama, also 500 Mashama in prison.
Right.
Watching the class in the way that we don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it. Right? Most High in Christ, you know what I mean?
McCoy Coking,
Okay.
Robert Salaki, Chupa
Chupa Ayashala, go ahead.
That's it.
Most High in Christ. I to all y'all out there, right? Yahweh, Shamar, Al, Thought. Before I forget, I need page 7 out of that book right there, right?
Come, sir.
Well, look for page 3. All right, Yahweh Shamar Al Thought by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Come.
Okay. By Hashem. You got page 3 there? Read at the top for me if you could, right?
The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world, still in use today.
Right. The Hebrew alphabet is the oldest language in the world. Right. The alphabet is the oldest in the world. Now you're gonna hear you're in New York, right? So people out here is God's body and Kemet, and they'll say Egyptian is the oldest language in the world. Well, show me a book that says that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yale University says this is Yale now. Right? This is where if you're a drug dealer and you got $1 million, this is where you send your kids to right here. Right? This ain't no broke man's education right here. Right? They say Yale University is teaching that Hebrew is older than Kemet. All right? Keep going. Oh, by the way, this is you're looking at the book, right?
Come.
Everyone out there, we're in this book again. You know, we're one of our favorite books right here, right? Biblical Hebrew, a text and workbook by Bonnie Pedrati Kittle, Vicky Hoffer, and Rebecca Apps Wright, right? These are scholars in the Hebrew, right? Recognized by worldwide academia, all right? And this is what they wrote in the book. There's nothing that we made up, all right? Okay. How about Shemala about Shimei? Keep reading that.
Come. Our own alphabet is a descendant
Our own alphabet, meaning English, right? Because the authors in English, right? These are English. America's an English-speaking country. In Yale University, they speak English. Our own language in our own English language in Yale University, New Haven, Connecticut, is a what?
Our own alphabet is a descendant of it by a circuitous route.
Right, by a circuitous
route.
God, right? So English is a descendant of Hebrew itself, right? Right? Keep reading.
The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development.
Right, so they're referring to the Hebrew, right? Where today, the Jewish man, right? He believes that he's the actual Israelites, right? So he talks about it like it's his own. So he's looking at his now modernized Yiddish dialect, Yiddish, right? And he's looking at it from the point where it was before when we actually spoke it to when he speaks it now. He's looking at it as there are periods of developments. All right? Keep reading. They're going to say what the developments are. Keep reading.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
Say it again.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
Read it again.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
What's a consonant, y'all? Who knows what a consonant is? A consonant.
A letter that's not a vowel.
A letter that's not a vowel, right? Now, you will hear infidels out there or people who just want to be against the UPK. They'll say, how can you have a language with no vowels? I don't know if you've ever heard this before in New York, right? How can you have a language with no vowels? The Lashawan Qadash is fake. The ISUPK Commander Junior Hano, he made it up. He made it up all along. It's a fake language, right? But not according to Yale University.
Right. Right from the white man.
Right? Now, if it was from a white man, now do you believe it? When Negroes and Latinos in speaks downtown in Times Square saying it, you ain't believe him. Just so funny wearing meat trees and war scarves and fringes. They're like, you niggas is crazy, man. This language, no vowels, joke, right? But if you could get a scholarship so high, right, you're gonna go to the white man's schools with a high tuition bill every month, every semester rather, right? And they're gonna teach you the same thing that we teach you in here for free on Fridays. All right, that's where you're gonna go. You're gonna get a UPK education,
Right.
semi sorta there, when you could just come to 2279 3rd Avenue, Harlem, New York,
Wow.
right? And learn under the real priest of the Most High, right? Read it again.
Originally, only the consonants were used.
Right, only the consonants were used, meaning R and I are considered consonants in Hebrew, right? You're not gonna have a word where it's like you see, we have to add consonants here because we speak English in America, right? So for you to sound this out, you need to add vowels in there so your English tongue kind of recognize it, right? But really, this is just a ya, this is a ha, this is a wa and a sha and an I, right? These are consonant units, right? Where as you see on your Hebrew sheet, right? Look back to your Hebrew sheet right quick. Right? Go back to your Hebrew sheet right quick. Right? We have the but we're looking at the ancient Hebrew here, right? The ba, ga, right? We have to add sounds or another letter behind it just so you can know how to pronounce it. Because you're a slave. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to not be a slave anymore. You're trying to be free. You're trying to get your language back. So for the R, we have to add a H so you don't mistaken how to pronounce it. Behind the bar, you have to add an A behind that, a A behind the ga, a behind the da, a behind the ha, and the wa, all the way down, right? Just so you can know how to pronounce it. Even on the car right here, right? The one where it says CHAA, right? This is something that scholars wrote to how to pronounce this thing, where it was a ka and a ha sound behind it. So in other words, the two A's is to say this is not a sound, but it's a ha. It's off the throat. But because that sound is not provided in English, they have to pronounce some kind of, formulate some words, some letters together to say it's sort of kind of like this. So you go on Google on your Google definitions, right? You look up how to say any word, and you'll say information sounds like this in PHOR4. You know what I mean? They put other English letters there to kind of give you a clue how to sound this thing out. All right? So that's what that is, right? And that is how we have to write it right here, just so you can know how to say it. Just so you can know how to say this, all right? Okay? So there was no vowels in the Hebrew. All right? Everything was a consonant. The R, the consonant. The ba, the I, the consonant. The ha, the consonant. Keep reading.
By the time of the Israelite kingdoms, some consonants, and they have the letter circle right here, were used to indicate certain vowels.
Right? Say it again. By the time of the Israelite kingdoms, they're talking about the Jewish white man's kingdom, right? They're talking about Khazaria, right? They say, read it again.
By the time of the Israelite kingdoms, some consonants were used to indicate certain vowels.
Right. So the Jewish man would have these right here, right? The ha, the ya, right? And I believe there's another one, right? The wa, that's right? To try to say that these are vowels, right? So the wa, they'll turn this into an O or a U, right? The ya would be like they turn this into an I. I think the ha they use like an A or something, right? A or an E, right? Keep reading.
These letters continue to be used as consonants as well.
Right. They considered, in other words, they didn't diminish the original usage of them as a ha and a ya and a wa, right? But in certain places, they put them there to say vowels. Hence how you got the word shalom. Right? You heard this before, right? You're in New York, right? You see shalom. So now by the way of the Masoretes, to standardize it, they'll put a wa there to create an O sound. Right? So you have shalom, a regular shalom, right? A regular shalom, right? And be written as so, shalom, right? Shalom, nama, right? Shalom, right? But now to get the O, they had to put a wa in there, right? Wa is written like this in the modern Assyrian Hebrew, or like so in the ancient, right? So if I put that here now, I have to put a wa right here, right? Shalom, right? Which is not shalom anymore, right? Because for them, they edited the spelling, not to say wa, but to say an O, right? And then there'll be, some failed students from the ISUPK probably in the 90s that leave and look at envy the Jewish man's Hebrew, and they look at the Jewish man's Hebrew, and they look, the Jewish man has shalom. See, you niggas, you Israelites, ISUPK, you got it wrong, because the Jewish man writes shalom. And then now you go out there and you're familiar with that, right? They go out there and now they're gonna greet you on Crossline Radio on Thursday, Shalom, Mark, right? Because they don't know Hebrew. They don't know Hebrew. Give me the scripture, something about the eagles taking the seed or something like that. The eagle, right? Seed in the good ground. What seed and eagle in New Testament, right? What?
Question, sir. So which one do you say, shalom or shalom?
You say shalom.
So you don't say shalom.
Go. We got concordance. We got concordance over here, right?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You're gonna go right here, right? And you're gonna go to number. Everything's numbered here, right?
Yes.
You're gonna go to number 7999 or 8000, right? And you're gonna tell me what it says there, right?
8,000.
Right. Go to 8000, right? Go to 7999, right?
Okay.
Good, right? For the sister's greeting, you say sister as akwaf. Akwaf, the sister, right? Good, right? That's how you say sister in Hebrew, right? Plural, akwafian, right? We gotta get on the board too, right? We're gonna get there in a second, right? How to pluralize things, right? Yahweh, of course, is God's name, is the Most High's name, right? The Most High, put that here for short. So everyone on Facebook or text message, they say the Most High, right? TMH, right? I got it over here already, God's name. We got Shamar right here. Shamar is watch, right? I'll is over. I'll is how we say over in Hebrew, right? So we know over here, Atha is you. You, of course, they got the old Bahashim right here in the name.
Shalom.
Shalom. That's what it says there, right?
God, sir.
What concordance code is that there?
What does it say, sir?
Yeah.
A prim root, to be safe in mind, body, or state.
Right. When you're safe, you're at peace. All right.
To be completed. Reciprocate.
Right. You go to a work site, it's very busy there. There's no peace there. You can't sleep there. You can't rest there. It's busy. It's time to work there. But when it's all done, peace, calm, quiet, shalom, peace. All right? Good, right? Yo, some y'all, go ahead.
So that's the parable of the sower.
Parable, go ahead.
The book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse 3.
So we're in Matthew 13 and 3, right? Go ahead.
And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow.
Keep going.
Okay. Verse 4. And when he sowed some seeds,
so now the spirit had to try to sow some brothers that are in the spirit, right? Meaning you reap what you sow, right? You want to do work. If you do work, you're going to be rewarded for your work, right? Now, the work of Christ is to plant brothers into the truth, right? Right? Keep reading now, y'all.
And when he sowed, Some seeds fell by the wayside.
Right. Some seeds didn't fall in good ground. They fell by the side of the street, by the wayside, right? On the side, right? Keep reading.
And the fowls came and devoured them up.
And the fowls came and devoured them up, right? The eagles came. The birds, the beasts of the field came and devoured them up, right? One of the beasts of the field is the Jewish slave master. Right? You go look at them, and the Lord, and you read in Joshua, man, the Lord put these other races of people around you for a test. Just to see whether you would stick to your own culture and love your people, or whether you would try to compromise and love them. All right? They are around you for a reason. They are in the time of Joshua, right? Joshua chapter 23. We'll go there in a second, all right? Keep reading.
Kyle.
Shalom, what's going on, man? Y'all just No, you good, you good. Come.
Verse 5.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Some fell upon stony places.
Some fell upon stony places where the seed can't grow. Right? Even the Lord said that Howard was like a tender plant. You see what I'm saying? Keep reading. In the book of I believe that's Isaiah. In the Isaiah, the Lord said that Yahweh was going to be grown like a tender plant, right? Keep going there also.
Where they had not much earth.
Where they didn't have earth or dirt or ground to get rooted, right? If you're trying to find the truth and come to Isupk, it's going to take a lot of diligence and focus. You have to get rooted. You're going to hear us say it all the time. You got to get rooted, right? Keep reading.
And forthwith they sprung up.
And forthwith they sprung up. Keep reading.
Because they had no deepness of earth.
Right, so they could be washed away. Right? It can be washed away. You've all heard about the Isupk and the year 2000, and where unbelievers who wasn't rooted in the truth, they all washed out, and now they go have the purple one, the blue one, the all black one, the semi-green one. I don't know. There's many out there. Right? They got washed in the different corners of the field. Right. Or the city, rather, right? Cursed thou be in the city, cursed thou be in the field, right? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And when the sun was up, they were scorched.
And when the sun was up, they were scorched, right? Because they were not in the truth, right? They in a place to get harmed by the Most High, right? Keep reading.
And because they had no root.
And because they were not rooted. Keep reading.
They withered away.
They withered away. And then next thing you know, you don't hear about them no more. One time they come up, they're famous on YouTube, and then next thing you know, that what happened to that guy? Yeah, he molested some kid, or they teaching some weird thing over there, and something happened over there, and these brothers don't like each other over there. Now they are withered away, and they're not gonna withstand the time when the coming of our king is. All right, they're gonna be withered away. All right, keep reading. Your job is to not be withered away. Your job is to live. All right, so I'm tired of people talking about, they just want to die right now, and they don't care if they die, or the living is the mission, right? You gotta survive out here. That's how we are. People are all over this place right now through surviving, right? Many of your forefathers got lynched, raped, and robbed, murdered, right? And now here you are, the children of the survivors. The goal is to survive. All right. If you're gonna die so someone else can survive. He who seeks to save his life shall lose his life, but he who loses his life for my sake, he shall find life. Right? Try to live, all right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. And some fell among thorns.
And some fell among thorns, right? But we got the whole idea, right? Right? Many people were taken away by the fowls or the beasts of the field, all right? One man taken away by the white man's Christianity. No, you guys are evil to say. The Lord, the Bible says, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. Don't know what abhor is. Don't know the difference between hate and abhor. All right? That's a subject for another day, right? I don't want to get too far for this, right? The Hebrew word for abhor is ta'ai, right? Which is abhor, which means to act off on your hate. Hate is shana'ah, it's two different words, right? Two different words. You read in both the scriptures, two different Hebrew words there, meaning two different actions going on there, right? We're allowed to hate your oppressor. Of course, you're allowed to hate your oppressor, right? Good. The Lord hated Esau in the Bible, all right? Of course, all right? But you can't, want to slam the door in a white man's face and think you're getting justice for 40 years of slavery by doing some silly thing like that, all right? abhor not to eat in my ear. Don't go out there and just be attacking them. You know what I mean? You know, some oppressor that you don't even know. The same way how you can't just murder someone for no reason. For you know, you heard about, you know, you hear about 40 years of slavery and how your forefathers got lynched. Now you go to Chicago and, you know, harm a devil there, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's not, you know, no, you know, don't be silly, right? Don't do anything without orders. Be soldiers. Live for something. All right? Be a soldier for your race, right? For your nation. All right? As all the other people of the other races are, right? Keep reading on. What else we got with yellow stuff? We got the you should Shla Yalla, right? Joshua 23 with a 16.
We see the 16. You want to read 16? When you start, the whole thing is crazy.
Hell no, we ain't reading the whole thing. But I know that I love that chapter. The book of Joshua is heavy, man. And one of these days, read the book of Joshua. But you go, the book of Joshua, people that left the school in the 90s and all that don't understand the book of Judges, don't understand how Commander Gina Holland could be the head of a nation today, because they ain't never read the book of Judges, right? You don't understand there's always a leader in Israel, right? Without a leader, the flock go astray, right? The flock of my sheep are men, right? We have to get into a ranks and order, right? Okay, what you got there?
I'll read verse 3. And tell me what you think.
Well, okay, you can come. Yeah, read it right now.
Joshua 23 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
You have seen all that the Most High, your power, have done unto all these nations because of you.
You've seen how the Lord has messed up these nations because of you. You know what I mean? The one time you were just getting, you know, messed up by the police out here and nobody could see. The Lord gave us cameras on time to expose him. There's another scripture was saying that the daughter of Babylon who was dedicated, she should sit on the ground. Another scripture was talking about lifting up her skirt so you can see. So in other words, you can expose her nakedness. Another scripture says, what does scripture say about the rust? Good night.
In Ecclesiastes?
Is it Ecclesiastes? The rust.
Chapter 12.
No, I'm gonna get it right now. Keep reading.
Come, let me start this from the top.
Come.
Joshua 23, verse 3. And ye have seen all that the Most High power have done unto all these nations because of you. For the Most High your power is he that hath fought for you. Let's skip that to verse 5 real quick.
God.
Verse 5.
And the Most High is fighting for us with that COVID. Right? Slowing down their presence. The scripture says also they make merchandise off of us. So they get very rich and powerful off of us, right? COVID, the supply chain issue, and everything that slows down their money because this place is going down, all right? So everything you hear in the news, and there's another school shooting, and this happening, and the opioid addicts of the oppressor now finally getting after. We suffered the 90s off of crack, you know what I mean? Now they get some payback from the Most High. I mean, that it's not by coincidence, it's not an accident. The Lord has done it for you. All right, you got to recognize what the scripture says, be not troubled in these times, right? You hear about everybody buying up all the toilet tissue out there in the supermarket. You can't get none. This place is upside down. It's for you. It's for your sake. It's not for you to panic and, oh my gosh, Jacob's trouble. What did they say also? Jacob's trouble. Yeah. Agenda 21. FEMA camps. Yeah, don't be scared of none of that. Don't be a PUSSY, right? That's right. Right, it's gay as well to be counted, right? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What you're saying is so right. Every time I hear Jacob's troubles, like these niggas is gay.
God.
You know, every single time it's like it's so. Lord be with those brothers, man. They just Christian and they don't know it. It's sad.
God. I mean, and like he said, he's right to say they're Christians too, because if you're scared, you go to church. You know what I mean? That's where you go when you're scared. Oh my God, I got a court case coming up. I mean, don't want to go to jail. You go in the church and you know somebody touch you in a strange way. You know what I mean? Yeah, around all them holes and churches full of those kind of people, right?
Right.
Go ahead, Shalaya.
Constant. Verse 5. And the Most High your power, he shall expel them from before you.
Right, the Most High shall expel them. The highway is pretty clear today. I don't know if y'all know. Today's supposed to be today's supposed to be the New Year's Eve, New Year's celebration.
Oh, right.
And you ain't gonna see a lot of devils downtown like you used to
Right.
when you were suffering in New York. Right? And you suffering around these cities out here. The Lord had expelled them away from. You're gonna go on the TV tonight, and Times Square should be half empty today. The Lord, right? One time they was out there, and they was full, and you was like, damn, these devils. And one time he's a lynching Times Square. Hold on, there was a time where look this up. The New York City draft riots happened downtown, man. You know what I mean? And downtown they would celebrate on New Year's and have the apple drop, the ball drop. What's that? Yeah, the New York draft riots. They white people went all around New York and killed whatever brother they saw. That's right. They estimated it was 5,000. Of course, it's more than that. Especially you can't see alleyways, and bury you here, throw you in the river, all kind of stuff, all kind of things. Lynch you, cut you up, make you having a wonderful jolly time off of your suffering. Right? Yeah, you're gonna go downtown today. Ain't gonna be nobody out there but you. You know what I mean? Go ahead, shout out, y'all.
And drive them from out of your sight.
And drive them from out of your sight. That's heavy too, because we all familiar with Deuteronomy 28, right? But the blessing was that if you obey the Most High, the enemy shall come out one way against you and flee 7 ways. But if you disobey the Most High, you're gonna get hit with a curse. And you shall go out against your enemies, and you shall flee 7 ways. Right? So now the Most High has scattered them, while you stay at home and do nothing. We got a God that's powerful, man. And we underestimate our God, man. You go to church, you ain't gonna learn about a God like this. You know what I mean? They don't read no Bible, man. Their God is happiness. God is love. God don't hate nobody. That ain't the God of the Bible, though. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Shalayala.
And ye shall possess their land.
And you shall possess their. Hey, you can become a power in this place. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is turn to the Most High. And you be the one walking down in Bronx City Hall wearing a Israelite turban, a so-called mitri. Right? Not so-called. They call a mitri a so-called turban. Israelite garment going up in there, fringes, and they got to respect you when you go in there. That's right. If you cleave to the Most High in Christ. Right? Or you can just be a regular Kevin Jermaine that goes to the boat. You know what I mean? Go to jail and come out and try to see his kids and can't see him and on child support and ACS and get involved. Or you can be the people that they fear down there in City Hall in the Bronx before this place goes down. I'm talking about before this place goes down. You can be a power here. You could be the one to own this land before you leave. Don't underestimate the Most High. Do not underestimate the Most High. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm. Read the other part of that last part again, if I could. That was fast.
Come on, sir. And ye shall possess their land.
And ye shall possess their land. Right? Keep reading. Jeremiah says this. We in here to gain authority in here. That's what this is not a Bible club. This is a serious mission here. You'll see, we're gonna be out there giving out food. We're gonna be helping people, right? And you're gonna be on what's the channel with C-SPAN? They might see you one day on C-SPAN, looking on rugged. All the sisters watching you on TV getting wet. They see such a man, right? Because they say ain't no real men out here, and then they see brothers the Lord raised up in the ISUBK out there getting authority, real men. They say we went to camp one time and Shalai was there. We went to camp one time and the sister came to camp saying, "There's no real men out here. There's no real men out here respecting us because we standing up for what we should be standing up for." I'm talking about all the things that we should be talking about. That's right. All right, and it's respectable. That's right. A man is supposed to get authority. He's supposed to get power in the earth. Right? Not just going to work every day, coming back with pennies. Right? Hoping to get the iPhone 15. All right? Go ahead, Shalai.
Come. Verse 6. Be ye therefore very courageous to keep.
Which is something that is missing in our communities, mainly because we were raising no fathers, right? We courageous against our brother. You shoot him, you go shoot your son 15. You gonna shoot another young black man 15, but they ain't messing with no white boys. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
And to keep and to do all.
And Lakashla, right? People who is not in the ISUPK claim to be Israelites. They scared to go to camp.
Right.
They scared to go outside. They complain about why are we gonna call the white man the devil outside. You know what I mean? They're scared. They're scared, man. They're not courageous. You know what I mean? They're scared of the Agenda 21. They're scared of the FEMA. They're scared to go to jail. You know if you go to jail, you come out, right? You know, you go to jail, you get locked up. You know they're gonna let you out. They can't just keep you there. The law is made in a way that they cannot just keep you there indefinitely, like they did in Staten Island, like they used to. Right? You go to jail in the Bronx. They say you disturbing the neighborhood or something. You guys are at camp, right? First of all, your goal is to keep your brothers safe, right? But if you're scared of going to jail, they let you out. You see the judge in the morning, and they say, oh yeah, he didn't harm anybody, he didn't hit anybody, he didn't kill nobody. There are murders out here and rapists for real, right? And they send you home. Don't be scared. Be courageous, right? Be a man, all right? Go ahead, Shalaya. Out there online, the Christ says the kingdom cometh not with observation. The kingdom don't come by sitting at home. The kingdom come by men going to camp, and that's credit to us, man. You at home Israelites. You know what I mean? Reading the Bible at home. Kingdom don't come like you. You are not why the kingdom is falling. The COVID is not here because you were at home studying the Bible, teaching yourself, right? Come on now. The scripture says if you're going to be a teacher, you must have a teacher yourself. I'll paraphrase the Hebrews 5:12, right? Go ahead, Shalaya.
Just to piggyback what you said, getting locked up. Even in here, we got brothers in prison that's doing numbers.
Good, nah.
And they raising brothers up with a host of 1,000,
in the prison. Nah. Right, big up the Officer Shawar, Officer 500 Shawar in upstate New York. Where is he at? Victorville, right? Big up to Officer Shawar. He was a OG. Let me not talk about Baby, right? Right? He's Officer 500 now in the school, Thwada, right? Right? Mashamar Yash, Officer 500, Louisiana. Yep. Officer Zadania Allah. Is he a trooper? Trooper Zadania Allah. Right? California. Right?
Officer Zion just came home from Mississippi.
Officer Zion, Officer 1,000 Zion just came home from Mississippi. Right? I can't remember all the other brothers' names, all right? But no problem, right? We out here heavy. Right? Right? These are the ways of pluralizing things. Ashala Yala, you wanna go anymore?
No, sir, that was good, sir.
That was good. Okay, give me down verse 13, right? Is it 13 or 16? The one which says thorns in your side, something like that.
Let me just double check.
Lord will no more drive out these nations. Give me that's the blessings, right? Give me the curse. All right?
Yeah, it's 13.
It's 13? Go ahead.
Verse 13?
Yeah, let me see it right quick.
Come. Joshua 23, verse 13.
Come.
Know for a certainty.
Right. Know for a fact that you are the Israelites. Right? And your life your life is based off of this right here. Right? If you never understood it, you wonder why you go outside, they give you a loitering ticket. You go in a car, they give you a red light ticket for you didn't drive, you was a yellow. When you get the red light ticket, you get a kid, you're on transport. You get a friend, your enemy, he owes you $5, you want to kill him, you want to kill you, right? Nothing you do works right because the Lord is against you. That's right? You're in a very peculiar situation, right? The slave master doing what he's always been doing, what the Lord made him to do. Be a slave master. The Chinese are supposed to copy, they're supposed to hate you, right? Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, but you are out of order in this earth. The pigeons, they fly around cities, they eat bread, right? The bees go in flowers, but you ain't doing what you was programmed to do. The bees were programmed to go with flowers, to go with flower to flower, right? The mouse was made to go from hole to hole. But you Negroes, you ain't doing what the Lord made you to do. So now you have to suffer because of it. All right? Keep me the Shalai, y'all.
Come
I
on.
know that for a surety. Read.
Concept. That the Most High your power will no more.
Will what?
No more.
One time he did though. No more what?
Drive out.
Drive out
Any of these nations.
any of these nations, and nations in the Bible is race, right? Nation in the Bible. Nation is race in the Bible. Nation equals race. In the Hebrew, Goya, right? Goya, right? Goya, and that's for international race, right? Of course, there's the other one, Gar. Gar is another way of saying stranger, but stranger is Gar is a stranger amongst your people. All right, a stranger among your people. Now, Goya can be used for your people in a sense of he's an American. He's not from our home. He doesn't speak our language. He doesn't speak the Lashawan Qadash. He's from America. He's a Christian.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's in the white man's religion. He wears dragons on his t-shirt because he's from China. He's a nigga from China. Right? All that, he's down with the other nations. You can find him in the U.S. military. Right? You can find him fighting for the Canadian Army or for the UK. Or he became Muslim, he went to the Middle East, and now he's for ISIS. Right? All that, you classify him as another nation. He ain't down with us. Don't look for help with him. Don't invite him into your house. You don't know what he's gonna do. He gonna marry your daughter because she's 9 because he's Muslim. Muslims, they marry kids. Right? Don't trust. He's another nation. You gotta consider him like another nation. Gar, stranger of your people. You better welcome him into your house. You better kill the fattest lamb for him. Right? He's wearing a turban, he's wearing Israelite fringes. Right? He's in the ISUPK. Right? Welcome into your house. If he's from HOI or some other good IUIC, he's in his mind, you might look at him as an Israelite, but in his mind, he's another nation. He don't believe that he can say the white man the devil in public. You see what I'm saying? He believes he can rape 12-year-old girls. You know what I mean? You know, candy canes. You know what I mean? They want to be like Catholic priests, wearing all that red and white. These are people are likened unto another nation. They with America. You see what I'm saying? No problem. What else we got here? Go ahead, Shalai.
Come. Drive out these nations from before you.
The Lord will no longer drive out these nations from before you, right? And when you don't drive out those nations from before you, you will be in the U.S. Marines. That's where your children are going to be. That's where you're going to be. Right? Keep going.
Come. But they shall be snares and traps unto you.
But these people around you for a test. Your mission in life is to not fall into the trap. Not get. Jeremiah brought out something so beautiful last Thursday, right? About the hypnotism behind Christmas and the four tone basis of all musical melodies around these holidays. The 6-5-1-1 and the 3-2-4-2, right? The musical chords that they use to hypnotize you, just to make you spend more money, to draw you into Christmas. Don't get fallen into those traps, right? It seems so fun. Oh, your sisters couldn't help but to fall into those traps. Now they say they gotta create an excuse. It's just for the kids. I know it's the white man's holiday. I know it's into this black Israelite stuff. I get that, but it's for the kids. Halloween is for the kids. Don't get drawn into those traps. Your sisters go though. Now you have to be a shepherd for your wife. You see what I'm saying? All right? Keep reading.
Come. And scourges in your side.
And scourges in your side. It's gonna hurt you. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna hurt you. Keep reading.
And thorns in your eyes.
And thorns in your eyes. It's gonna be hurt for you to see. Because you're gonna go outside on 125th, which was Black City one time. Chocolate City out here, and you're gonna go outside one day and you're gonna see in a place full of black businesses, you're gonna see Starbucks and Burlington Coal Factory and CVS and Whole Foods and Victoria's Secret and Banana Republic, and you're gonna complain, where's our black businesses? I can't believe my eyes. Your grandma saying, right? Keep reading.
Come. Until ye perish.
Until you die. Some of your grandmothers and grandfathers died seeing this place go from black paradise to hell, to the school to prison pipeline. Right? Your kids grow up to go to jail. That's what they go to. That's what they live for. They don't live for nothing. They live to go to jail, or if they get shot by another child. To die from children. You're a grown ass man dying by a child. I mean, your neighbor from down the street, or your homeboy from down the block. He's a kid. You're not familiar with him, and then he come out one day. He got kid from some baby mother downtown. He goes down and shoot you. I'm like, damn, man, that was my son that shot you, man. I didn't know. I mean, you in hell, man. You in a curse in this place, man. You know what I mean? Right? Keep reading, Shalaya.
Come on. Until you perish from off this good land.
Until you die off of this good land, which was once Harlem, Black City. Now it's so gentrified, and now it's the other nations, because the Lord no longer drive these nations out from before you. That's what gentrification is. Right? Any more of that, Shalaya?
Just a bit more.
Keep going.
Which the Most High your power hath given you.
Which the Most High gave you this whole earth to rule over. So you didn't want that. You know what I mean? You wanted to love everybody, when everybody don't love everybody. Right? One day they put on TV like the white man and the Asian and the Indian are all friends. You go into real life. The white man hate China. Right? They was attacking them all over the news the other day. And to save themselves, they blamed you on the news. And the Chinese people have to come and say, they put on the news the black people attacking. It's not the black people, it's white people attacking us. You know what I mean? Because they tried to save this place. And you're the enemy here. You see what I'm saying? Everybody points a finger at you. All right? Is there any more on that? Right?
That was it.
No problem. Right? We have the yum at the end of the word. Yum is for pluralized for men. Right? All things, men or unisex. Yum is how you pluralize things. Yum is always things that you pluralize only for things pertaining to the sisters. And with that, I pass the class to prison officer 500. What's up, right. Okay, bear in 1 second, please. Got it.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK Star of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, my Ishara in the Hebrew, which means 10th in the Hebrew, which is a commandment found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. In the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The next high holy day will be the Slaki. High Purim. The next feast day will be the Feast of Purim in February, right? If anyone would like to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarves. And with that, men of Israel, we say Amadim, which means to stand. We'll give one courtesy salute. This way, face this way. Amadim Shabbat. Amadim Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Yadim Matah, dismiss. Shalom, Israel.